And I am representing Gymnasium Aleva in Košice, Slovakia. Throughout history, people have been pursuing wild animals to provide their families with food, clothing, shelter, and other essential reasons such as self-protection. In these modern times, society's hunting needs for survival have lessened because of the development of agriculture, animal husbandry, and manufacturing of processed food. The overall sport of hunting, however, has lingered on because of the challenge and the enjoyment of outdoor activity. All of you have seen on TV or on social media documentaries or just private videos with rich Westerners in Russian Siberia or Africa bragging with their kills. A tiger or an elephant, and this is something that should be abolished. In the ancient world of Europe, nobility enjoyed hunting as an exciting sport and a pastime. Then were times in history when hunting became a very profitable activity and hunters began to kill animals not just for their profit or not just for their basic need and sport, but also for profit. They hunted animals for ivory, fur, skin, claws, and in order to trade them to make luxurious boots, coats, or belts, and to decorate their houses. This is when revolution began to come into effect because of overabundance of killing. Poachers are people who murder animals not just for their basic needs, but for profit. And they do not respect the environment. They do not respect wildlife inhabitants. In the past, some species rapidly disappeared, and the sad thing is that people still buy these objects and they don't care how many innocent animals were killed for this purpose. Firstly, hunting causes pain and suffering. This violent form of entertainment rips families apart and leaves animals orphaned or badly injured when hunters miss their targets. Quick kills are rare, and many animals endure prolonged and painful death when they are shot by hunters, but they are not killed. A study of 80 radio-colored white-tailed deer found that of 22 deer who had been shot with traditional archery equipment, 11 were wounded but not recovered by hunters. A study also showed that 20% of foxes who are wounded by hunters are shot again. A British study of deer hunting found that 11% of deer killed by hunters die only after being shot 2 or more times, and they suffer for more than 15 minutes before they die. And I must react to a speech of Bronislava because she said something about Charles Darwin's theory. In school, you might have learned about Charles Darwin's theory of natural selection, which explained that the sickest and weakest animals are most likely to be killed by natural predators, leaving the strongest animal to survive and pass their genes on. Hunters, however, disrupt this natural balance because they prefer to kill largest and strongest animals. Even if overpopulation happened naturally to a group of animals, nature would work to regulate population. Starvation and disease are tragic, but they are nature's way of ensuring that the healthy, strong animals survive. Let's face it, very often animals are hunted and killed for the sole purpose of providing hunters with a trophy. Killing hunts are big business, but 40% of hunters also kill and injure millions of animals on public land every year. And did you know that to attract more hunters and their money, federal and state agencies actively recruit children because they know that most people will never take up hunting if they aren't exposed to it early in life. Another point is that hunting accidents sometimes injure or kill cats, horses, dogs, hikers, or other hunters. According to the National Shooting Sport Foundation, thousands of human injuries are attributed to hunting every year. A very important argument against hunting is the fact that violence against animals can lead to violence against humans. In conclusion, hunting animals for a reason like fashion, sport, decoration, or any selfish reason should be banned in every place in the world. Like us humans, animals deserve to have a quiet world, quiet life. Also, hunting of wild animals is the reason why there is so many endangered animals. Killing animals for illegitimate needs is a cruel and terrible crime. Governments should create laws to prohibit indiscriminate hunting because if this continues, there will be very few alive species of animals in a few years. All things taken into consideration, hunters have a choice. With all the delicious pastas, fruits, vegetables, and grains that are cheaply available everywhere, there is no reason to kill animals to survive. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, my name is Lucia. I am going to talk about animal hunting. Hunting is safe, effective, and necessary. It's an effective way to eliminate predators because keep the animal's population in check. Hunting is inexpensive because hunters kill the animal for free. The injury rate for hunting is lower than of some other forms of physical activities. For example, football and cycling. Hunting an animal for food cannot be worse than killing a cow or a chicken. Another reason why I agree for hunting. Also, it is beneficial to the ecosystem. Finally, I would like to say that if hunting were to become illegal for the animal population, will skyrocket put off control and the future they will disappear. Okay. Thank you.
The judge.
Hello.
This way.
Hello to all the debaters. So both teams presented strong arguments and good statements. Thank you. You formed a great debate. First and foremost, I'd like to say that I'm happy to be a part of this activity, to experience the role of a judge and to hear your opinions. We can all agree that animal exploitation is a very controversial subject, a huge problem which is a common worry all around the world. However, how and where do all of the atrocities to animals happen? If anyone tries to answer this question seriously, they will be met with at least a handful of examples of unethical behavior hailing from every country across the globe. One can plainly see that no one culture is at fault for the entirety of harm, even if we are led to believe that the worst atrocities happen somewhere else. There are a couple practices, which you all mentioned, that unfortunately have developed to the point that would hardly be eliminated, such as factory farming, animal testing, hunting, and so on. Those who argue for these practices, and some of you stated that they are necessary in order to test the drugs for the population not to experience negative effects or even poisoning. You all have a point with that. However, others arguing against these practices stated that they are morally wrong, since animal abuse is sadly the negative side of these practices. Do you think that maybe this is a necessary evil? Whatever. Without it, our lives would be a lot less safe and generally less pleasant. Nevertheless, it goes against our principles as humane people to use so many animals for our own sake. Not to forget that October 4th is the World Animal Day. The mission of this special day is to raise the status of animals in order to improve welfare standards around the globe. Building the celebration of World Animal Day unites the animal welfare movement, mobilizing it into a global force to make the world a better place for all animals. It's celebrated in different countries very differently, irrespective of nationality, political ideology, religion, and faith. Throughout history, social movements and mass actions like World Animal Day have been a major vehicle for people's participation in politics and key in fighting for social justice and reform. There are other important days linked to animals, as World Day for Laboratory Animals on the 24th of April and the World Wildlife Day on the 3rd of March. However, World Animal Day is the one day of the year that embraces all animals and the unique concerns of each in every country. Generally speaking, on this topic, there will hardly be an in-between the positive and negative sides of animal exploitation. However, thanks to you, to both teams, now we know for sure the causes and the effects linked with this disputable subject. The contestants haven't just informed us, they have put a lot of effort in giving us something to speculate upon. It's our duty to take care of ourselves and as well to take care of others. Now I'm going to tell you what the positive and negative remarks of each debater of both teams. So, the first speaker of the con team, it was a good point that you explained the meaning of what is to exploit animals. You gave examples for such practices, and you mentioned the entertainment, using the animals for entertainment, which was a good point. You told us why they don't deserve it, and why stressing them would be dangerous to humans. You had a good speech and you used your time fully. Thank you. The first speaker of the other team had a really good speech too. The introduction was unnecessary since we have an announcer, and it was unnecessary. Don't be nervous, we all are, everything's okay. You have to structure your speech better, even though you mentioned some examples, you didn't mention examples for drugs. for curing diseases, which were tested on animals, but the second speaker mentioned one of them, which was a good point. You need more explanation on your statements. Thank you. The second speaker, it was a good of the content. It was a really good point that you added some personal opinion of yours. It was a good one. You are right that that hunting and all kind of exploitation on animals is expensive, and that they have feelings too. You're also right that humans and animals are never going to be the same, and which doesn't give us the right to exploit them. Thank you. It was a bit short, unfortunately. About the second speaker here. Your speech was great, and I liked it a lot. You used statistics which are truthful and convincing. Your manner of speaking was convincing too. And you mentioned the development of medicine, which was a great point, because medicine, thanks to exploiting animals, developed a lot. You mentioned some of the medical developments thanks to exploiting animals, which was a good point too. You are right that we wouldn't have been here if we hadn't used animals. Thank you. The third speaker of the CON team, you had a well-structured speech. You said that hunting is already practiced for pleasure and need, which is right. I shall ask you, do we have the power to change this? As you said, that many people buy products made from animals, their fur and their skin, but you didn't say, do you think that we can change this? That would be a good point. You had statistics too, which was great. That makes the speech more convincing, and you did great. Thank you. I barely heard anything from the third speaker of the pro team. It was too short, almost nothing to speculate upon. And that's all I can say about it. I'm sorry. This is it. Thanks to both teams for the experience.
Thank you. Okay.
Le foto. Glielo dico. I wanted to remind you all that we are also broadcasting our debates on the net. So, if your parents, your friends, or yourself guided our address, they can see you. Okay? Thank you.
Now with the photo, okay, and also with the judge. Where is our wonderful judge? Oh. Who is Antonio? Okay. Okay, thank you. And no one alone?
And vai a continuare, come arriva qualcuno? Fanno la foto e chiamiamo il coppo e abbiamo finito. Are you ready?
No, la cassa, veramente, potete indicare.
cose più civili. Questo qua.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Yeah.
Italian people.
In Turkey, what you're going to be doing is called duo. Duo is a theatrical performance done by two people, two students. Basically, the idea of the duo is that you find something theatrical, maybe something from a book, from a movie, from a theater play, and something that you like, and something that can be made by only two people, even if there are more than two characters. If you can act out all of the characters, then you're fine. The idea is that it should be between 7 and 10 minutes long, and the rules in short are you have to show emotion, you have to have gestures, but the restrictions are that you cannot look at your partner's eyes, and you also cannot touch them. Those are the restrictions of the duo. You can do anything else. You can speak, you can sing, you can write, you can do anything you want. You just cannot make direct eye contact, and you cannot touch them. Anything else is fine. And if you keep it like about 7 to 10 minutes long, then you're perfectly good. And those are basically the criteria that will be judged. So that's about it. Just don't do anything cynical, don't do anything that's way too out of the ordinary. Just make it clean, make it nice.
May I ask a question? If two students decide to take it from a movie, do they have to personalize it to insert something of their own, or can it be the exact copy of what there is on TV or on a book?
It's nice if it's the exact copy, but you should add an intro so you can introduce what you're basically doing. So you start out and you say, this is from the movie something something.
We can say that,
Yeah.
or do we need something on the
No,
screen?
you can say it. You can
We
say
must say, so that the public audience is oriented, okay?
Yeah, so they know what it is.
Okay.
You
Thank
just
you.
say what it is, like the author, and something like that, and you'll be fine.
Okay, thank you.